Welcome to the Wednesday session of the Ring Fit Adventure Kickstart 3. This video is going to have all of your workouts for each of your focuses and tell you a little bit about body types for your fit fact of the day. Wednesdays are full body workout sessions, and that means we're going to have a little bit of everything. We're going to train your legs a bit, we're going to do your arms, we're going to do your core, and we're going to have a little bit of a stretch, maybe a bit of cardio as well, depending on which program we're doing. We'll have had 48 hours or 2 days to rest from that big leg session, so you should be feeling pretty fresh, pretty alright, but if you're not, just take it a bit gentle, alright? For our full body sessions, we are doing our big muscle groups first and then doing the smaller, more isolated exercises later. This is for energy conservation and to make sure that we are feeling less fatigued when it comes to the big, more important lifts. Sounds like a plan, yeah? Remember, reps and exercise choice is up to you. Make sure you are making progressions if this is a repeated week, okay? So, make sure you warm up properly, get your water and towel ready, and let's hit that full body session. Ab focused trainees, get ready for a full body blast. Warm up with your hip lift and squat or wide squat and overhead as needed. Then get into your overhead bend to stretch your hamstrings and get your core active. This can progress to pendulum bend later with the torso twist, which works the obliques better. We also have overhead side bend, which works your obliques too. This is progressed to warrior one pose with its lunge properties and stretching the hips. And then further to tree pose, which focuses on some single leg balance along with the side bend at the top. Perform revolved crescent lunge pose before 2 arm skills, overhead press and bow pull. These both hit larger muscles on your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together for overhead press and keep your arms and shoulders level for bow pull to get maximum effect on your latissimus dorsi. If you do need form assistance, I do have a guide on this channel for bow pull. Stretch yourself out with hinge pose before a duo of ab skills to finish. Leg raise moves your legs in the sagittal plane, whilst open close leg raise moves in the frontal plane. Open close leg raise can be difficult to score, so follow this guide in the top corner for more information. Upgrade these to flutter kick and leg scissors for more energy intensive versions. Alright, battle focused trainees, you're in for a range of moves today and there's no particular starting move. Knee lift or knee lift combo will give good dynamic knee flexion and extension with side step bringing some fun lateral movement. Whichever squat you decide to use, that's going to be a tough one for your quads and your core. Tricep kickback, overhead press and back press all hit the arms quite hard. The latissimus dorsi, serratus muscles, deltoids and triceps all get some love with these. Tipped cueing for these exercises is generally pretty good as well. Knee to chest and leg raise are 2 good ab moves, but if you're looking for harder ones, they can be upgraded to boat pose and flutter kick respectively. Just make sure you're ready for boat pose because it's pretty hard. The other moves are warrior 2 pose, which stretches your hips and chest well, and overhead lunge twist, which is a really great full body move. Enjoy your workouts today, guys. Get your jog on first with beginner or disturbance meadow, whichever takes your fancy, ahead of a squat. Start with the standard one before progressing to wide or overhead in that order. We then have thigh press. Focus hard on using just the adductor muscles on the inner thigh to press in on the ring for maximum muscle fiber usage. This can be upgraded to thigh rider with shorter, sharper presses for additional cardio benefits whilst training the same muscles. Front press is next. Pretend you've got a ball in your armpit to flare your arm slightly. This allows the chest more room to move and recruit muscle fibers better. Next is overhead arm spin, which is a fun shoulder move. This progresses to the tricep focused tricep kickback and then bow pull, which is using more and more muscles with each progression. Bow pull is especially good as it's one of the few ring fit moves to use the lats properly. Next is overhead bend, which is like your standing forward bend. Use the core to hold your torso up and keep the spine in line properly. This progresses to warrior 3 pose, which is a tough yoga move which uses single leg and dynamic hip flexion. Overhead side bend is simple and progresses to tree pose, which uses more single foot stability combined with your side bend. We then finish with a run through starting block bridge, and that's your full body workout done. Repeat this if you wish. Hello demons, it is time to get to work. Warm up with your hip lift as per usual before the wide or overhead squat. Hit a lunge position for overhead lunge twist. Keep your spine straight and twist your torso round. Next is an arm move. Start with your front press and then in subsequent weeks get to the back press since the chest gets a good workout in a moment. Overhead press and bow pull hit the back really efficiently with good powerful moves. Then we have Valley of Wishes. If you're experienced in Ring Fit, you should have this unlocked and know why this is going to suck for you. But don't worry, the arms aren't quite done yet. Hold them out for overhead bend and progress to the more dynamic transverse pendulum bend before progressing one more time to warrior 3 pose, which has dynamic movement unilaterally with the legs. Mountain climber comes next. Perform it like you did on Monday before aero shoot. This should feel quite tiring after work you've already performed so far today. Finish with either the plank or the boat pose and then feel free to collapse into a pool of sweat or repeat the playlist. Gorgeous work, my trainees. Well done. Congratulations for completing your full body session. Now, your fit fact of the day, we're going to talk about somatotypes. or your different body types. And this is to do with body composition. There are generally recognized 3 different body types. You have your ectomorph, your endomorph, and your mesomorph. Essentially, the theory is that every person has a genetically inherited body type, one of these 3, and that can provide specific bonuses, almost, if you think about it in a game, specific ways that the body will react to exercise, and so they're more adept at different things. So you've got your ectomorphs. They're generally quite skinny, quite tall, quite lean. And an ectomorph is typically not very good at gaining muscle mass or weight. They are particularly adept at cardio activities like running and stuff though. So number 2, you've got your endomorphs. Now your endomorphs generally have a higher body fat percentage, and they can typically put on weight easier, but also they are much better at gaining strength and muscle mass. And don't get me wrong, they're not all like overweight or anything like that. It's just typically they're really good at building muscle, and they can take on fat a lot easier as well, so they can gain strength and size pretty simply. Then we have your mesomorphs, so that's number 3, and a mesomorph often gets described as like a rectangle shape, which I've never really understood, but they can be quite stocky, essentially, like quite stocky in body size, and they can gain weight pretty easily, they can lose weight pretty easily, and they have pretty good athletic skills. They can kind of be quite adept at athletics, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Now, it's worth noting that you're not going to often fall into like dead on one of these categories. You do have the split categories. I myself seem to be more endomorph and mesomorph kind of split, probably more endomorph. That's generally the way that we think about our body types anyway, so it's just kind of interesting, and I figured it would make a little fun fit fact for the day. That's your fit fact, that's your full body session done, and that is the Wednesday done for the Ring Fit Adventure Kickstart 3. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for participating in this program. I hope you're looking forward to either a rest day or your yoga tomorrow. Now, thank you so much to my patrons like Rain, Sick Hippie, and Mikey Bananas for the fantastic support they give through Patreon. Really appreciate it, and if you're looking for a more standardized program, make sure you check out my description of this video for my online training, which is a worldwide service. Thank you so much again. I'm Master Trainer Peter. I'm going to see you tomorrow.